Boys, 5 years of the pod coming up, so it's time for a performance review.
You bloody betcha, Jake. It's been too long.
It's been too long. Who's the boss? Who's telling us what we're doing?
Well, we don't have bosses here at the MacPack. You are the only stakeholder listening.
Oh.
So we want to throw the thing open to you. We've made a Google form with a few questions in there.
It's anonymous.
It's completely anonymous. So whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, we'll work out after the first few come through. But it does mean no matter what you put in there, we'll never know who put anything in there. We want to hear your favourite things about the pod, your least favourite things about the pod, the things you want more of, the new ideas that you might have.
Yes.
It's all open for you guys.
Link in bio, link in show notes. Hit us up. We've been doing some radio down at Radio Fremantle. That's 107.9 FM. And what you're about to hear is what we chatted about there on the weekend.
You can obviously join us live each and every Saturday between 8 to 10 a.m.
But don't worry, because if you missed the episode, you can listen right here in your podcast feed.
Enjoy!
Coming to you live from the studios in Fremantle. The Three Brothers.
I'm feeling fan-freaking-tastic.
Boys! Is this thing on?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Welcome to the best day of the week. It's Saturday.
TGIS.
Turn your radios on. Crank up that dial. Saturdays are for the bros. The weekend's here. You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Fremantle 107.9.
Good morning and welcome to the MacPack on Radio Freo. Jake, Joe and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway, fellas. How are we?
Oh, Jake, you know I'm excited to be here, buddy. It's Saturday. I'm fired up. Joey was telling me something very interesting in the car on the way here. Joey, tell me more about it.
It was to do with the way that, you know, when it rains and you smell.
Yeah.
That has a name.
You always smell.
Oh, does it?
Regardless if it
Petrichor.
Petrichor.
The smell of the rain. Actually, it's the smell of the moisture in the air.
That's right. It's getting to that time of year. Hey,
Yeah,
Joey. It's getting to be cooler.
Yeah.
We're getting a bit of rain. We're getting a bit of petrichor.
The petrichor's in the air, and I'm loving it.
I love a bit of petrichor. Jake, do you love a bit of petrichor or
It's
what?
one of my favourite smells, the old petrichor.
Yeah.
Never knew it had a name. I just thought it was rain.
It's that right under
The
when
rain
you
smell.
cup your fart.
Yeah.
A cupped fart. What's the name for that?
The Joey, I call it.
Yes. I love it.
The Joey.
There you go. So we're about 2 minutes in. You've already learnt something for your Saturday morning. That is where the education station went, I have no doubts, and we're going to get back into regular programming.
I'll be educating you all a fair bit today, I reckon.
Oh, very nice.
I'm talking babies a bit later on.
Babies.
Babies.
Where do they come from?
Jury's out. I reckon we're going to break it down today. We're going to try and find out where they came from. Where'd they go?
Where are they?
Where do they come from, or where do they go? Cotton Eye Joe. We've got a big show on the cards today. Joe, you're hosting this week's game. What have we got?
Yes, we've got It's Rearing Its Ugly Head. The quiz returns.
Oh, the quiz!
The quiz is back.
The quiz is back. That is very exciting indeed. That'll come up just after 9 o'clock. But up next, we're chatting about volunteering. You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Free.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Miles Smith. Nice to meet you. You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Freo. 107.9. You got Jake, you got Joe, you got Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway. And we're chatting about volunteering.
Yes, I love to give back to the community.
You really do, dude.
I do.
Who's your favourite place to volunteer for?
My favourite place. Actually,
Name one.
And when was the last time you did it?
last Thursday.
Oh, Thursday! I thought we were talking about Thursday, Joey.
Last Thursday, I did volunteering.
Where at?
Work doesn't count. If you get paid to be there, it doesn't count.
Oh, it's through work.
Oh, so you're getting paid.
Can we get okay, you don't have to name the actual place. You can just give us a
what do they do?
subsidiary
So this
of what-
one was
what the type
like-
of situation is.
This one we did recently was like packing up stuff to go to like kids, like toys, like
cool.
nappies, diapers.
Okay, cool. And this is
I
part
was
of work.
using them. Yeah, we get a couple of days a year to do volunteering work.
Oh, cool.
So what, you just all knock off at 2 o'clock and start packing boxes for...
No, we took the whole day.
Oh, wow.
I also gave blood. I think I talked about that where it didn't
Yeah.
take.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
because of the infection that I was running with. Rash. Because of
Hell
the
yeah.
gangrene I had on my veins. But the one I wanted to talk about was one I did last year. It was at an op shop.
Oh, the Oppie.
I'm not going to say which one,
Yeah.
but it was at an op shop. And I was keen for this one because I love an op shop and I was keen to get an insight on how it's run.
And you can see the goods coming in from the back.
You can see the goods and you see the bads.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, a lot of bads.
Bads outweighing the goods.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. You know.
What ratio would you put on it?
1,000 to 1.
Oh, really?
Actually, I was... no, it's probably good. I was tasked with... Well, we got to pick our jobs.
Wow.
And my job was... the DVD scratch inspector.
Oh, that's
Ding,
nice.
ding,
That's a very
ding.
clean job. Like, I imagine some people are like,
Yeah.
all right, make sure the pants aren't soiled.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You're the shot checker.
Exactly right.
Has there been a shot? Who knows? You're going to find out.
It's like a weird scratch
Yeah.
and sniff situation down the
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Do you have gloves for this? No. Yeah, I opted in for the DVD scratcher because
That's arguably one of the great jobs. I don't know that there'd be many better.
It was good. I was happy about it, but I did tell you, opening so many DVD cases, you get quite calloused.
Yeah.
Because you open one DVD, you think nothing of it. You open 1,000, you think, I wish my hands would stop bleeding.
You needed gloves as well.
You are a
Yeah.
bit of a DVD savant as well.
Exactly.
Was there any part of you that was thinking, any temptation at all to go, I might just pocket this one?
Yeah.
I was originally tempted. I thought I could find some good
You could
stuff.
even pay. Like I don't mean like you could just have
yeah,
first dibs.
yeah.
And go, I'll give you $5 for this before it's even on the shelves.
Yeah, but the selections were not good. Actually,
right.
there was one lady that worked with me, but was doing the volunteering. She picked up a copy of The Castle. She had never
That's
seen it
unreal.
before,
That's
and
real
everyone
good.
sort of got up and about the Castle.
That's a great
Were
get.
there a couple of so freshes going around?
There was a lot of it was CDs as well.
Do they sell them exclusively at op shops?
Yeah.
We do
Did
now.
they
Gone
ever
out a
get
bit.
sold anywhere else?
It's
But
sort of
yeah.
ironic that they're so fresh. In this day and
Yeah.
age.
But it was insane because they're like
So scratch.
any scratch at all, you got to chuck it out because
No.
like
I'd buy a scratched disc.
Nah, but-
Absolutely.
You're
And
missing
like-
one scene.
no, sometimes the scratch goes all the way, but some of these discs
You
were
saying
like
this?
Or disc.
so scratched, like it was almost so scratched that it looked clean.
Do you know what I don't get?
Right. You're mistaking as a full scratch over.
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
clean
It
one.
was like it was sanded down.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You go to watch the movie. It's opening credits. Skip. Closing credit.
I don't get how they get scratched. Whenever I had a DVD,
Kids.
I never like I was so delicate with placing it in the little hole.
Yeah,
that
I
sits-
feel like you got to be bad at doing that.
And the only time it's ever outside of the case or outside the DVD player is
2
the
seconds. 2
milliseconds that
seconds.
it's going in and out of either.
I have absolutely, over my time, have seen kids grab the CDs out and then use them as skates. And put their
Oh,
feet
yeah.
on, like put socks on, then put their feet on and shuffle their way through the kitchen.
Oh,
So I can absolutely understand how they get scratched. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio 3. Matchbox 20 with Wild Dogs. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio 3. Your favourite bros are in the studio.
Boys, I remember in high school, we were just talking about it in the last break, volunteering, Joe.
Yes, I was doing my shift down at the op shop, sorting through the DVD scratches.
Hell yeah. And I remember back in high school, boys, it used to be mandatory for us to do volunteering.
Yes,
true.
Where did you
Christian
guys go?
service.
What were you? Whoa, Jesus, Joe.
Joey went to Mike's school. I did nearly 100% of mine was
With Nan.
basketball coaching.
Yes,
because I
that.
was coaching both of you two at the time, so I was doubling up. I actually
Yeah,
won
right.
I won an award for how many hours I
Service.
did because I got like colours for service.
That is so unfair because by the time I got to year 12, which was like peak service hours year, but they exempted like coaching. They were like, that's not an actual volunteering.
enough.
It absolutely
Like,
is.
you got to go to like the
It's too
soup
fun.
kitchen
You're having too much
or-
fun.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
to be grinded.
Yeah.
fair enough.
All right, Greg Popovich, step aside, mate.
yeah. They were just yelling at a bunch of 8-year-olds.
Yeah, literally. Joey, what did you
So
do?
what did you do? I did the
He did a bit of coaching.
coaching as well. Assistant coaching.
I
even.
spent a day with bloody Red Cross, dude.
Oh yeah.
I cranked out 5 hours with Red Cross.
Just one
You
day.
only had to
I
do
feel like
5
we had to
hours.
do
I did, like,
50 minimum.
We were cruising around the streets of Freo doing the gold coin thing, shaking the box.
Checking the tin.
Oh, getting cash.
Shaking the tin, that's right.
How much did you get?
A little bit. I helped
little
the
bit, that's not
cause.
bad.
And then we did some gardening and Nans. I remember you could do like You had to do like 5 core hours and 5 elective hours.
So you can't coach like 10 basketballers, but you can go to your nan's house and get like bickies and tea and help her with some small raking. And then
we
you're
watched
fine.
the ABC News.
That doesn't seem fair.
It was good times. It was good times with Nan.
With Nando. Yeah, community service is definitely like, there is levels to it. There's ones where you're like really making a difference, and there's ones where you're like, I actually wouldn't mind doing that.
Like what? What is something that you wouldn't mind doing?
Working at the DVD sorting.
Oh, right. You would do that just on your weekend, regardless.
Yeah. Other thing, I would like to do the St. Pat's soup kitchen.
Yeah, that would be
I
cool.
feel like that would be one where you're like really like getting something out of it because
Yeah,
you're
it's
like
very
seeing
positive.
the people you're helping.
100%.
Yeah.
Very rewarding
Oh,
stuff.
we've also at my work, we also made bikes once.
You made
Wow.
bikes.
This was at our team day. It was just before Christmas. We they had these like bikes you would get from Big W.
He was
or something.
volunteering.
yeah.
He was volunteering for Santa Claus.
Yeah.
When you were an
one of
elf.
the elves came in and he whipped us into shape. So we made a bike. Except we did
you
it
assembled
in
it.
teams.
You assembled the bike.
We assembled the bike, and they were going to kids that were, not super fortunate. They
Yeah,
would love
fair
a bike,
enough. Yeah,
and they
absolutely.
even came in, and we saw them get the bike.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Except our bike. So another thing, we're making
We're
a bike.
terribly made, and all the kids got
Well,
massively
that's the
hurt.
thing. We're making a bike for a kid.
Yeah.
Everyone in my team, no one had ever made a bike before.
No, because you're all
And-
like really statistical nerds.
yeah, we're all accounting people.
Yeah.
And then
Don't even know what the tools you're using
Yeah.
are. Someone was just bashing a
what
bike
are
together
these
with a
wheels
hammer.
for?
Alan, hand me your key.
Yeah. So, and another thing, because it was about team building, so they thought, building a bike is too easy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it with one hand behind your back, and that will be your dominant hand. So we're making a bike. I was making a bike with my left hand, and for some reason, because I was the only guy on the team, I was the head of making the bike.
Oh, you're the
Yeah,
you
were
roll
the
your
jock,
sleeves
yeah.
up kind of guy.
It did not. The bike did not work.
I don't know if the safety, the whole behind the back challenge, probably isn't fit when you're giving these items to young children. Chaperone with Pink Club. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9. We've got a big show on the cards today. Later on, we're asking the question, can you find the difference? We're doing a bit of a balancing act between age versus coolness. Joe's brought the quiz back for the first time in 2025. That's coming up just after 9 o'clock. But for the moment, Junior Boy, it's baby fever.
That's right, boys. The headline that I've got here tells me that a stingray in the US is making global headlines after it has fallen pregnant, boys. That's right.
Prego.
This stinger is bloody preggers.
Drum roll. Boys, excitingly, Udi have come on board and they've given us a 15% discount code.
But not for us.
For the
you.
fans.
Oh, come on, Joe. Switch on. We had this written down for months. For you.
For you.
So if you jump on our link tree quick on the very top bit, and there, my friends, is a link for 15% off an Udi.
Wow.
15% off.
That's, I believe it's
already the low prices.
I believe it is the only way that you can get 15% off via us. There's no code.
Yeah.
You just go to the link, click the link, you get 15% off an Udi. Imagine you sitting down. It's the middle of winter. Things are a little bit brisk. What is you need? Fuck the jumper. Throw an Udi on. Do you know what's exciting about an Udi?
What?
Being completely naked underneath.
You don't need to wear pants. You genuinely don't need to wear anything.
That's so exciting.
I once went to a funeral just with an Udi on. Joe's graduation service at uni. Udi. Yeah, that was it.
What to wear when you're told not to wear a thing?
Go grab yourself an Udi for 15% off because, look, you're going to buy one anyway. You might as well take a discount. Yeah. Support us, support Udi. And most importantly, be free from the waist down.
We got there in the end.
So they're pregnant. Eggs or carrying to term?
I'll tell you all very soon, Joe. Staff at an aquarium in North Carolina, big sky country, initially thought the ray had cancer
Oh.
when they discovered swelling in 2020
Right.
2 years ago.
That's right. They were shocked by the result. And
Shocked by the ray.
after multiple ultrasounds, they did find out that it was actually pregnant, but they were puzzled because the aquarium doesn't have a male stingray.
Oh no. It was one of the staff.
Did anyone else's mind go there? Because mine didn't.
The staff member, Miss Raymer,
I'm nervous for this next sentence.
didn't root the stingray.
Good, thanks, Bramer.
But with the help of Dr. Jones, one of the aquarium's vets, said that there are two possible explanations for this unbelievable pregnancy.
Okay, I'd love to hear
They've
it.
done.
I'm
They're,
stunned.
they're keen to figure this one out, boys. One explanation is the process of parthenogenesis, a form of asexual reproduction
Oh.
where eggs develop without fertilization, creating a clone of Charlotte the stingray.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
the
A bit
initial
of
stingray.
I'll do it myself. kind of vibe.
That's right. But the other theory is pretty wild, boys. In July, the staff members put 2 young male sharks in Charlotte's tank, and their theory is that one of them may be responsible for her pregnancy.
What?
That's
A
right.
stingray and a shark.
dun, dun.
My question is, what does that then? What are we going to get on the other side of that?
Sting shark.
Yeah.
One of the signs of this is that they saw that Charlotte had bite marks in her.
Wait, why did
and
they put sharks in
you know,
there?
It doesn't need to be about. They could just not be getting on.
Guess what a known site of mating is in sharks?
I'm going to
Oh,
guess
it's going to be
teeth.
the teeth mark.
Biting. This shark is a kinky shark, Charlie. But boys, turns out that Charlotte wasn't impregnated by... I actually don't really know what happened, but it wasn't the sharks. But apparently, mating across breeds is actually quite common in the wild. And it
no.
happens
What?
frequently.
I
And
thought
I
it
had
was
no
not.
idea. I had no idea that this was possible. Jesus.
Ooh.
And in the next break, I'm going to tell you boys all about crossbreeding. What animals can do it, which animals can't. We're breaking it
Which
down.
ones you should try.
Oh my god, it's 8:34. You heard that correct. Junior Boy up next, taking us down the path of. Well, it's not biomechanics, it's just biology. We love it. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Prayer Writings with Castles. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Frio 107.9. You got Jake, Joe, and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway.
Boys, in the last break, we were talking about the usual topic we usually talk about, crossbreeding.
Yes, we're doing our weekly roundup of crossbreeding.
It's a first, and hopefully after this segment, a last.
So apparently there was a stingray that got impregnated in an aquarium in the US, Big Sky Country. And they were like, how did it get pregnant? And there's no male in the tank with them. Anyway, they thought it was a shark. Turns out it wasn't. But apparently that can
Could have
happen.
been.
It can happen
What
indeed.
might have been?
So now, I was like, I didn't know that was possible. I thought you literally had to be the exact same species to procreate.
You would think.
But apparently you don't. And we're going to break down what kind of animals
Okay.
can work with each other, if you know what I'm saying.
More music.
Oh, yeah.
A horse and
Oh,
a-
yeah.
They need to be like relatively similar genes.
Yeah. Size?
So a horse and a donkey
Yeah, same thing.
can make a mule.
A mule.
Yeah.
Let's make a mule.
Hey, turn this up, dude. Turn this up. Let's get in the mood.
So a
boys.
mule isn't a thing. It's a donkey horse.
Yeah, it's a donkey horse.
Wow.
A lion and tiger make a liger.
That's a lie. That's just.
That's a liger.
not legit.
Liger.
No, it's true.
I guess that's like 2 cats.
There's literally photos of them. And it's just like a bulky lion.
a liger.
Next up, we've got the zebra and horse, which make a zorse. This is my favorite. I'll show you a
We're
photo.
just linking.
If you're at home, Google zorse because it's possible.
Okay.
That's a
it's
bloody
a zebra,
horse.
but
It looks like it's been painted.
Yeah.
It's a horse which has zebra qualities.
It's a tan zebra. It looks like
gotta
a brown zebra, essentially.
Do you have any? A lot of these are very similar.
Yeah, that's
What's
what...
the wildest
Yeah,
one we've got?
give me a fish and a horse.
I reckon... I reckon zorse was pretty
Seahorse.
chill, dude.
Joey's cracked it. Joey's cracked it.
Apparently, a whale and a dolphin can get it on and create a wolfen.
You just
Here we
just
go.
Whale's
using-
a giant.
Yeah,
This is what I like. Yeah.
They can pound the dolph, dude. A cammer? Guess what a cammer is?
It's going to be a
and
camel
a hammer.
hammer
A camel
and an alpaca.
Okay, what about if I said karma?
A camel and a
Okay.
llama.
Hey, there we go.
Just
Good.
change
Do you have
it.
a photo of this?
No, not that one.
No,
but you can
'cause
Google it because they're
I
real.
wouldn't.
This
Just-
is all
I wouldn't.
factual. This is scientific. I'm not sure how or why, but it
So
happens.
are scientists doing this, or are they?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Is it?
I don't think
I
so.
genuinely
this
hope
is
not. This is stuff
divine
that needs to,
intervention, Joe.
Yeah, this has to be a
Yeah.
natural thing. Otherwise, I'm sure you go on like a government list if you're forcing.
Yeah. Did you make a karma? Because that's not on.
Next up, we've got a beefalo, which is a bison and a cow.
A beefalo.
And in commas, in
like a buffalo.
In brackets here, they have America's weirdest burger. Anyway, and then I got thinking, and I was like, okay, there's a question we're all thinking here.
When will this end?
Obviously, we're not encouraging any.
Of course
No,
not.
absolutely not.
But
no.
The question I googled was, can a human cross mate?
No, the answer is no.
Can or should?
And it said, no, absolutely
Good.
not.
Correct
Here's
answer.
why.
Oh, no, 'cause-
We're too genetically different to other animals, apparently. There's a chromosome mismatch, and the third reason was ethical and legal barriers.
Yeah.
that should
That's
be.
got to be the main.
Why is that not number one? That should be number one.
But I was amazed by this fact, and it got me thinking.
Oh no!
And thinking
You
got
got
me
me
drinking.
drinking.
And now I'm all drank out. I'm all dranked out, and I'm all thought out. There you go, boys. The beefalo.
The beefalo.
The Zorse.
I was hoping for like something more crazy, something like a reptile and a mammal.
Oh.
Something. So you have like a horse, but it's got scales.
Well, have a crack this week, Joey.
yeah,
And
I think
report
I
back.
could. Yeah.
The beefalo coming to a Macca's menu near you. Thank you so much for the little education station, Junior Boy. You are listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free. Zach Bryan with A Driver. You're listening to the Mac Back. On Radio Free.
Boys, I was in an Uber the other night.
Hey, driver.
Exactly, hey driver. I was saying, hey driver. I was in an Uber the other night, boys. Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Hey, driver.
Hey driver. Saturday night.
Is this pre-event and post-event?
Post-event?
Oh,
The PMs.
Always I don't remember those events home anywhere near as much as the drive.
Yeah.
AMs, right? Well,
Sometimes you shut your eyes, you wake up, wow, I'm home.
Yeah. Well, I'm covered in vomit.
neither do I. Usually I'm like, clocked out, ready to just go home. It's like
clocked out and clocked out.
Good.
clocked out and clocked down. Anyway, so I was sitting there in the back seat of the
Yeah, you're
car.
standing, head out the sunroof.
Imagine standing, but like you're too tall, so your neck's just like
Yeah.
pressed up against the thing. Bloke just looks in the rearview mirror.
He's squatting on the back seat.
You're good back there, Ledgmond?
Anyway, and so this guy was approaching like a roundabout with pace, and I was
Nice.
like, whoa. Like,
Wee.
so this guy was using his brakes as more of a, what's going on with the
As
gang
more of
signs in
a-
the studios, boys?
More of a.
He was using his brakes as more of a like cautionary between him and the car in front of him rather than a stopping mechanism.
Yeah.
Like he would just use them to like aggressively stop the car, not to slow down.
Right, so
Okay.
he
Didn't
saw the
understand.
brake.
Emergency brakes.
Yeah, that's how he was kind of using them. And
Bless you.
and I was like, at what point during this ride, at what point during this near miss ride, am I like, do we say something to the guy?
Yeah, how bad does the driving
And 'cause-
have to be
Yeah.
for you to put your foot down and ask him to put his foot down?
I was like, even like approaching like literally around the corner of our house. Like there's a car in front of us. He was still going like 45, like I reckon a meter away from him, and just like slammed.
Oh, that was my foot you've just hit.
Sorry, Joey.
Riley has just.
Yeah, that was
stepped
intense.
on-
For all the listeners, it was, he stepped on
He
it.
slammed on the brake like I just slammed on Joe's foot, like so hard, like to the point where like the car is going.
Yeah.
Oh, with every single time.
break. I'm like, bro, learn.
And when you have a driver like that after a big night out, it's like, do you want me to throw up?
yeah, legit,
Yeah, or
man.
fire out
Yeah,
the
does
front
your
of the
car need a clean?
Come
Are you
on,
testing
bro.
out the airbags? What's going on here? It does seem like he was using the brakes. Like the brakes are meant to be used in a cautionary manner, like an orange light. He's using them purely as a red light. Like, we're going green. We're going start to stop.
Yeah,
start to stop. No in between.
Oh my God, it's so frustrating. Lucky he didn't hit anyone, but I was like, man, this is so dangerous.
5 stars though.
And his poor car.
5 stars?
Yeah, 100%
Yeah, 5 stars. Got to give him 5
and
stars.
a little $5 tip.
Got me home safe.
So he can fix his goddamn brakes.
Got me home safe. The quiz returns to 2025. Joey's hosting that one. And next, it's Jake versus Junior Boy. Junior Boy has been dominating in recent weeks. Let's see if we can stop the streak. You're listening to the Backpack on Radio Freo. The Big Weezer with Island in the Sun. You're listening to the Backpack on Radio Freo 107.9. And we are very excited to welcome back the quiz for the first time. The quiz for the first time in 2025. We played the weekly quiz in 2024. We have packed it away for 2025, and we've been playing a different assortment of games that we run either on the podcast or we're debuting them here on radio.
That's right.
But today,
Joey.
the quiz rears its ugly head.
Yes, the ugly head of the quiz has been reared. So, obviously, last year we played it every week. We didn't need to tell the rules, but I'll tell the rules again.
Good.
We've got 4 questions,
Yeah.
followed by a Who Am I, which is worth 2.
Nice.
Nice.
That's right.
That's
I forget
right.
the who am I word too. Arguably the most important
Yes.
question of the bunch.
Multi-choice, the first 4, obviously. Or
Yes,
closest
multi-choice,
to the pin.
or closest to the pin.
Closest to the fin.
Or
closest to-
one that's not multi-choice.
Wow. It's been nearly 5 months since we played the quiz last.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I'm so
So
excited.
you guys haven't been checking up on the news, have you?
Honestly not.
You don't need
That was
to.
the one issue with the quiz is like sometimes
News happens new every week.
Slow week, yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
sometimes it's like.
I'm well aware of this. Okay. Fire us away, Joey.
All right, which female pop star went to space the other week with Jeff Bezos'
Oh, the big buzz.
fiance?
Oh,
Big Bez.
is this multi-choice?
It is. Do you need it to be multi-choice?
It would help.
I don't.
Oh.
I don't need it to be
Oh.
multi-choice.
Well, that's not part of the game. We don't get to pick and if it was built multi-choice,
It
read out-
wasn't built multi-choice.
Oh.
Well, how were you going to do multi-choice?
you just guessed.
I wasn't doing multi-choice. Riley threw in this multi-choice boomerang to me at the last minute.
All right, it wasn't put in multi-choice.
At 9:08. Okay, ready?
Made the
Yeah,
quiz.
No multi-choice. We're just putting our answers in.
Yes,
Let's
which
go.
female pop star went to space with Jeff Bezos' fiance?
It's interesting because, like,
Space.
were they
The
up there to
final
shoot a
frontier.
music video? Were they up there to just muck around?
Apparently, they were only up there for about 3 minutes
in space.
in space.
How
But
far,
space.
How far up does it become space? Like, well, if you're in a plane,
Our atmosphere, right? Out of the Earth's
Stratosphere?
but if you're in a plane, you're not in space. But if you go up a little bit higher, you probably are.
In space.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it depends on the.
at what point am I going from Perth to Melbourne to Perth to
Space to Melbourne. Yeah. All right, we've got 2 answers locked in. Riley's gone with Katy Perry, and Jake has locked in Kendall Jenner ?
Yeah, heavy on the question.
And it
mark.
was Katy Perry. That's right, from fireworks to space.
Hell yeah.
mammoth
dude.
stuff.
So,
Congratulations, Riley.
Riley's on one.
First quiz. How did you know that information?
I heard about it quite frequently when it was
it
happening.
was big news.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't.
know,
obviously, you
It's
didn't hear a
space.
Why did I think?
People don't go there super often.
I think the first time I heard about it was probably like Wednesday of like the week before this one.
Right.
So
All right.
like a little
Still
while.
haven't heard a peep. So
On to the next question. Also, dare I say, space related.
we've got a theme emerging. Is it multi-choice or is it what is it?
This one is multi-choice.
Wonderful. Okay.
All right, so you know those NASA astronauts that were stuck up in space for 9 months?
Yeah, we talked about him on right here.
Yes, we
Radio
talked
Fremantle.
about him. So
That might have been the last quiz we did.
Suni Williams spoke to the media about her first meal she had when she returned to Earth.
Okay.
So the question, of course, is what was it?
Multi-choice?
And it's multi-choice.
Okay,
Thank God.
We've got A, mac
I was
and
going to say
cheese.
Kendall Jenner again.
Yeah. A, mac and cheese. B, In-N-Out burger and fries. C, grilled cheese. D, pad thai. So you've been in space for 9 months, eating nothing but space toothpaste.
That's huge.
No,
Actually,
it's-
space toothpaste.
No, I think they have. I don't know. It's all
They probably have like two.
Give them to us
Yeah.
again, Joey.
A, mac and cheese. B, In-N-Out burger and fries. C, grilled cheese. Or D, pad thai.
Oh, how exciting.
What would you have out of those?
See, we've both put our answers in.
Locked.
I put in what they gave me after my most recent surgery because I reckon it's like It's like a safety food that they'd give you just to like line your stomach.
Yeah.
Right.
Pad Thai. So Jake has locked in B, In-N-Out Burger. And
Mainly
fries.
because like you literally cannot get that if you're in outer space. I reckon mac and cheese, they would have had a bit of it.
I don't know. I have no idea what they eat up there. Riley's locked in C, grilled cheese sandwich. It turns out an operation is the same as going to space. Grilled cheese sandwich was what she was smashing after 9 months.
I think it's a safety thing that they give you. They know it's like can't really upset your stomach. It's probably decent for you. It's just carbs and cheese.
The next question, what did Katy Perry eat when she came back from space?
Junior Boy leads 2-0 at this point. I'm getting awfully
Absolutely
nervous.
panhandle. On to the next one.
Here we go.
Okay, so this one was also big news. Director Sam Mendes.
Oh, Shawn Mendes, brother.
Stitches. He's doing Stitches.
Yeah,
Stitches
yeah.
Part 2.
He has announced his cast for the Beatles 4-film extravaganza, where
Four films.
in a few years, in 1 month, there's going to be 4 separate Beatles movies released. One
each.
George, Paul, John, and
Ringo.
Ringo's.
Wait, and are they all
Ringo,
like?
baby,
Are they going to
Ringo.
intertwine?
I
As
think
if,
so.
like,
I think it's going
that's
to end.
it.
It's going to end with we're putting the band together.
Hey Jude.
Oh, that's good.
That's
But
cold, bro.
obviously, the Beatles, one of the biggest bands of all time.
Yeah.
So you've got to pull in some big stars to play them.
Yeah.
Can either of you name a single actor who has been cast
Yeah, I can actually.
in the Fab Four biopic?
Did you know he was doing
Can I
a
get
quiz?
more points if I
No,
answer all four?
one on
Did you
none.
know he was doing a quiz?
No, actually.
Because I have seen all this stuff like pop up over the journey,
It's
but at
news.
no point have I shown any interest in it. But I think
News
last,
is important despite the
But
quiz.
I think last year I would have sat down
Taking
and-
notes.
Yeah, I would have gone. I would,
Grilled
I wanna-
cheese.
Oh,
Katy
God.
Perry
Okay, so
space.
what's the question?
Name one actor
Oh, God.
who is going to play a Beatle in the upcoming 4-film Beatles extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
Aw.
Okay, you
my
can have
answer.
a couple guesses.
No. That's not how it works. He uploads one answer, just as I did, and he gets 1 point if he gets it right.
This is
They're young
so-
dudes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They're young.
Oh, I
Hollywood
had
actors at the
Seth
moment.
Rogen written down. I'm deleting Seth Rogen.
Who do you reckon he looks like?
I don't know. Did one of the Beatles eat another Beatle? Let me. Okay,
Here we
I've got
go.
him. I've got him.
He's got him.
He's
Joe.
got him.
He's got him. He got him, mate.
He's got him. It's coming in hot.
As the Beatles would say, he got him, mate.
I've done some hectic spelling.
Yes.
A celebratory spelling because something
Okay.
has come to mind. I have seen this. I have
He's
actually seen this.
He just quickly Googled
Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm
So-
I'm wrong.
He's
I'm
Googled
wrong.
it.
Riley has locked in Paul Mescal, which is true.
Thank you.
He'll be playing John
Okay.
or Paul.
What about Ringo, baby?
Ringo.
Ringo.
And Jake has locked in, I'll read it as is written, Tim Chalamet, which is, I think he could appear in it
Timmy.
oh
but
no!
as Bob Dylan, his most recent role. Bob Dylan, obviously friend of the show and friend of the Beatles.
Who are the other three? Real quickly, rinse through them.
Barry Keek,
Yep, that's the one I.
Who's
was-
that?
Harris Dickinson.
Well,
he
that's
was
a
in.
fake
No, he was
name.
in.
That's a fake
the guy
name.
in
Dick-
Scrapper.
Dick in where?
Dickinson.
Wouldn't have thought.
Talking about crossbreeding.
He was in Scrapper. We saw that movie with him.
We did.
The one
Yeah, I
about
remember
the,
Scrapper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And also Joseph Quinn, who was in
Oh, the Quinn.
Stranger
Harley
Things. He's
Harley
going to be
Quinn's
in the new
brother.
Fantastic
I reckon
Four.
3 of the 4 could walk past me.
Yeah.
and I wouldn't turn my head. Junior Boy is now on
He's on-
3. I now need
he's-
to get this one and
And
Who
the-
Am I to
yes,
tie.
and then we'll go to songs and the tiebreaker.
Oh,
All right.
my God.
Anzac Day was yesterday.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
closest to the pin.
True or false?
Who won the footy?
True or false?
Who was
Anzac Day was yesterday.
Yeah.
True or false?
Yeah, true or- yeah.
I mean,
Anzac Day was yesterday.
Who won the war?
Yeah,
No one.
Yeah.
No one ever wins any award.
Anzac Day was yesterday.
Okay.
Closest to the pin.
oh god.
When was the first Anzac Day that was a national public holiday?
Ooh, dude!
That's right.
This is
When
why we
was Anzac Day, bro?
When was the first Anzac Day? Closest to the pin.
This is terrible because my history is like so bad. I could honestly say like
Yeah, and it's-
1625.
It's not some trick where
Do
it's
it.
only been like the last 10 years, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a trick question.
See, I can't. I'm bad with history as well. I don't know if this is a World War I thing or World War II thing, unfortunately. Or if it was
Interesting.
either.
All right, give
Was
us
it
a lock
either?
in.
Was Gallipoli either? Was it
Okay,
Gallipoli?
we've got a couple
Are you
speech
in?
bubbles in chat.
Yeah, I couldn't have. I've just put 4 numbers in.
Yeah.
I've literally
You started with
I have
19,
no
which is
idea.
good.
I have no idea, which is
okay.
terrible.
Okay, get in an answer. Get in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Riley's locked in 1918, which I think
Okay.
World War One was potentially still happening.
So this was my
1917.
is that when it ended?
I don't know. Or is that when it started?
And Jake's locked in 1953. So Jake's obviously gone for the sequel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was 1927 was the first Anzac Day.
Closest
I was
to
going to
the
go
fan.
1925 as well. That's
That would have been a killer guess.
that was
So it was
hard.
after World War One.
It was after World War One. Quite a bit of a break,
Yeah, right.
but they've locked it in. All right, are we doing the Who Am I? Riley's won the quiz.
No
May as
one has
well.
ever led 4-0 in the quiz.
We could get, if possible, a 6-0.
Yeah,
Because the Who Am I is, of course, worth
I could pants this bloke.
Yeah.
Let's
do it.
We're doing
it.
Okay.
I
This
do
is just
get
first in, best dressed. No.
Part of me thinks I could just throw the music off here and we would never need to know about the whitewash. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. This is the Who Am I? First in, best dressed.
And if you guess once, you're ineligible for guessing until the next
Yeah.
hint is given.
correct.
I was born in New York City.
Big Sky Country.
My first name is Stephanie, but the world knows me by a different name.
Heffany.
Yeah. Steph. I started playing piano
Oh.
at 4 years old
Young.
and performing by 14. By the time I hit 20, I was writing songs for other artists before breaking out on my own.
Riley.
Oh, if he gets this, I'm leaving the studio.
Sabby Sabrina Carpenter.
No.
Oh.
Thank God.
Good guess. Okay, so Jake has
You get
opened up the door for a free.
free hint here.
Okay, free hint. Need it real bad.
In 2008,
Oh.
I told you to just dance.
It's Lady Gaga.
It's Lady Gaga. He's gone and done it. Gaga.
We restore some respect.
What
on
song does she
the
say
quiz.
just dance?
The song Just
The
Dance.
song is called Just Dance.
Play it, Jakey.
Okay.
Oh, that would be
Sing it.
epic.
Sing it,
Just
Johnny.
Dance. All right, the
Oh,
quiz.
hit
The
the
quiz
beat,
has reared
okay.
its ugly head, and Riley has left victorious
As per.
Congratulations.
with a 4-2 win.
Junior
Obviously,
boy.
the Who Am I worth 2.
and had no meaning either. Who
Jake-
am I? It was-
Jake
it was
will
an
be-
empty Who am I?
Jake's hosting next week. How exciting.
Yes, the big back in the hosting chair.
He's back in
We,
those.
we return to the hosting chair. Congrats, Junior boy. This bloke is just dominating as of late. The domination continues. You're listening to the Mac Pack on Radio Free. Alex Warren with Carrier You Home. You're listening to the Mac Pack on Radio Free 107.9.
The was.
Boys, during the Boys, during the week, I had a little bit of a study come across my desk, and I thought I'd share it with you lads. So I've actually sent you both a little image so we can go through it, because it is a study in the form.
I don't think you were meant to send that.
It's
to
a-
me.
Oh my gosh.
It's a study in the form of
Oh,
a
this came across my desk as well.
And the question, basically, the graph is showing you how cool it is versus your age. And I was quite intrigued by it. And I thought it was quite interesting. So we're going to go through a few of the options today. All right, we're going to kick things off by, let's go with living alone. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the graph, it basically prints your age down the bottom. That's called the x-axis, correct, Joey boy?
Yeah.
And
Correct.
the coolness is running down the
Down the
y-axis,
Y.
right?
Wide of the sky.
So the idea is coolness when you're living alone is very low until you're about, 15? And then it
I like
starts to really speed up a bit.
Yeah.
And then it stays high. It continues to grow until you're about 30.
Yep.
And then it begins to make quite a quick and sharp
Yeah.
descent until, I'd say, by the time you're 60, living alone is no longer very cool.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
Fair enough?
Yep.
I like it. Complaining about young people, you'll see a massive thing that's
Yeah, but it's a linear.
that's
Got a line?
absolutely perfect. That's just a perfect line
It
that
just
goes
keeps
from,
going up.
Yeah, so the older you are, the more cool it is to complain about young people.
Yeah.
Dueling, never been cool, so dueling's just running
Yeah,
along the
facts.
bottom there.
Dueling-
I feel like it should maybe at 100, just shoot up.
Being good at patty cake, which is just like a game you would play.
It's a bit
in the
too patty
schoolyard.
cake.
Patty cake. What's your favourite colour?
If not, why not?
You
Big fat banana.
Riley asked what it is and then proceeded to sing the
knew
whole
it.
song.
No, that's a different game.
Settle. That is cool. It's not very cool when you're born, but it gets cool very quick.
Yeah.
Usually around 10 it seems to peak, and then it is a sharp
nose
decline.
dives.
By the time you're 15, it is not cool to be good at playing patty cake.
No.
Being told you look older
Okay.
is really cool until you're about... This is early. This reckons it's about 15 years old. And from the moment you turn 15... being told you look older is not good, and it actually hits a real bad drop at about 30.
Yeah.
That's when you are really not happy about about that feedback. Celebrating your birthday is an interesting one. It is obviously very exciting to celebrate your birthday between 1 all the way through to what appears to be 21.
Yeah.
And then that decline is as fast as falling off a cliff as anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
By the age of 25, no longer cool to be celebrating your birthday. However, it does make a resurgence at 30, 40, 50. At 60,
I
for
don't
whatever
get that.
reason, for
Why
60
is
it
60
seems
not
to
good.
60 seems to pike off, but 70, my God,
No,
rally the game.
boys,
It might
boys,
be the
boys.
last time.
I think you're misreading that. That's a little bit before 70.
Oh, no, that's on its way up, but it has to peak at 70.
69, dude.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
nice.
I understand.
There
where
That's
you
you're
why they're
going.
doing that.
There you go.
That's
yeah.
why
Very
that's like
nice.
that.
I reckon it's a big. I reckon 70. The 70 celebration is big because it very well may be a few people in the
Yeah.
room's last opportunity to celebrate.
Yeah.
But my favourite of the bunch is skateboarding, and skateboarding is hilariously built in a way that looks like a half pipe itself.
Yeah.
Skateboarding is obviously very cool up until you turn about 18 to 20. Then it is a sharp decline down the half pipe. But however, it does return to being cool when you're 80. Because have you ever seen someone skateboard at 80?
Very cool.
That would be sick.
It would
that
be
would be
cool.
absolutely fantastic. But it did beg the question for me. I want to hear from you guys up next. What is something that changes... It changes its appeal at different ages throughout your life. Because having a look at this, pretty accurate chart, I would have thought.
That is.
Yeah, for sure.
What can we add to the chart, Joey?
Yes, let's get
Let's
on the
find out.
chart.
We'll hear the best ones up next. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free. Pete Murray with Opportunity. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free 107.9. You got Jake, you got Joe, and you got Junior Boy to get your weekend underway. And we're currently chatting about what changes its appeal at different ages and different stages of your life, because we went through a few little bits and pieces over the journey. So celebrating your birthdays.
Yep.
Always very exciting up until about 21, and
Yeah.
then they just make a nice sharp peak at every 10-year increment after
And
that.
69 for some reason. Not exactly sure
sure what's
why.
up with that one.
Sure, but
Just
the data doesn't lie.
The data doesn't lie, Joe. So we thought we were trying to add our own what is cool, what is not
Yeah.
cool at specific ages. What did you come up with, Joey?
I've got one. Being on your P plates.
Oh.
Very cool.
Yep.
Especially if you get them early.
When you're like 16.
yeah.
Super cool.
Can you
I
do
think
that?
15, 16.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Ps.
crazy cool when it's like your perception of someone having their Ps.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah, but if someone at
Goes
my age had them,
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
27,
happened?
28, am I 28? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not...
Do you-
What's going wrong?
Do you get P
questionable.
plates once you've lost your license again? Do you get them again?
I don't
I don't
think
know.
so. I think... No, I don't
Because
think
you've
they
been
make
driving
you...
with that E one.
I don't think they make you resit your test.
I've been
I think you
driving
just jump back in.
without number plate.
yeah.
I saw one come in that said being...
Oh, on the text line. Did
On the
this one
text
come
line.
through on the text line, Riley?
You bloody betcha, Jake.
Phone's off in the studio, please.
047 30 30 88. Oh.
This person, Jimmy, said being obsessed with dinosaurs. Cool when you're 6, not cool when you're 26.
No, but they do make a bit of a resurgence when you're 86. I believe.
Yeah. And I feel that it's true unless you become the paleontologist.
Oh.
The dinosaur expert.
Is that your plan?
To become a paleontologist? Yes, I've been slowly studying.
This other one said wearing pajamas in public. At 5, adorable. At 25, you know, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
Again,
what are you
85 becomes adorable again.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. At least you're out of the house.
Where is your house?
Any other ones, Joey? Nice, dude. You came up with one.
Joey dominating.
Jay, what are you?
I don't
you
really-
came with the graph.
I really like watching animated stuff in particular.
Yeah.
Really cool when you're a kid. If I was to chuck on like the Cartoon Network at the ripe old age of 28 and get all the lads to come around, not as cool. Something that I wish was still cool, and something that, speaking on behalf of like the three of us, right? A couple of young males, something I think should be more widely accepted, and I've mentioned this before. Let's say you're 12 years old.
Okay.
And you go, lads, sleep over at mine Saturday night.
Yeah.
Bring your PlayStation controllers. We're jumping on. We're having a big night on the PlayStation. We'll get some pizzas.
Yep.
Have so much cans of Coke and Sprite.
Yeah.
And then just crashing here all night.
Yeah.
I would love to, as a 28-year-old male,
Get that going.
message my mates, my like 10 friends, and be like, boys, let's bloody do it. Everyone's coming over for a sleepover. But I just don't think it would be met with the same amount of excitement.
No.
Yeah. Everyone would just want to drink alcohol. It's not as fun.
It's not as fun, yeah. You need to be on a sugar high.
Yeah. And not a beer high.
Not a beer high, no. The other one I was thinking is hanging out with your parents. When you're a kid, very cool. You're hanging out with mum and dad, watching some movie stuff. Then you become a teenager where you think, no, parents are lame. Drop me off. Nah, drop me off further. I'm not hanging out with you.
Yeah.
But then when you get older and you're cherishing
the years.
the lasting years of their life and trying to wiggle your way into the inheritance, it becomes very chill to be hanging out with the folks.
It's an economic decision, Joey. Is that what you're saying?
For sure. Yeah. And economics is always cool.
You're listening to the Backpack on Radio Free. See ya with Together. You're listening to the Backpack on Radio Freo 107.9. Your favourite bros are in the studio. And boys, that just about brings us to the end of another show here in the Radio Freo studios. We hand over to the team at World Football.
That's right, Joey. I'm volleying it up to you. Do the header.
Oh,
Head it over. Head it over to the game.
I don't understand how that doesn't hurt.
What,
They
the
are,
header?
yeah. Surely, like when the camera's not on, they're going.
I've been told recently that you got to hit a certain point on like your forehead more so than the top of
The
your
top
head.
of your head. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong.
But I feel like you don't get to make that decision like when the ball's in air.
yeah,
You're
they're
just
really
I'm
like
just whacking my
slam
head.
it in. They're good at it.
Joe, I agree with it. I was always like, as if people header, like you can just leave it.
yeah.
You know, like it's really
It's not
it
worth
cannot be worth the mild like headache that you would
Concussion,
get.
yeah.
But then we played at a season of indoor soccer a couple weeks ago, Joe.
They
Well, a
use
couple
softer
months
balls
ago.
there though.
Oh, it depends how hard it's coming at you, but it's very close proximity. Like,
And you
balls are
become
pretty-
a head.
The ball went up. The ball went up and toward my direction, and I had no choice but to lay it on the head, and I did. It was like an instinct, you know, when you're on the field and the ball's coming at your head.
Just all?
You've got to do it. No, I volleyed it back to my mate who had a shot at goal.
Which part of your head did it hit?
The upper forehead, around where the hairline starts.
Right. Well,
Which
yours
is-
is a little bit further back than
Which
most
depends
people.
on the person.
When I was super young, I was told, do not let it hit you like on the top of your bonds because you'll get a blood
Yeah.
nose.
Oh.
And I just thought that has to have happened really quick. That's
Yeah.
almost an immediate thing.
The top of your nose.
Like, no.
Top of your head.
Yeah, so if it lands like on the absolute top of your head, apparently
You get a blood nose.
Blood nose. But I've watched a lot of soccer
Gotta be
over the
there.
journey.
Yeah, no blood nose.
Never seen
From that.
anyone. have a
Yeah,
blood
you
nose.
imagine that. You just score an absolute ripper goal from, dare I say, a corner.
Off the head.
Yeah.
That's hectic.
Yeah, sometimes they
Yeah,
corner
they
it
cross
and
it
you-
in.
and
You
then
haven't
just
kicked
slam
it.
your face
Joe's
on the
not.
ball.
What do you think he's running
Oh,
up and
yeah.
then swinging his
Diving
head
on the ball.
He's swinging his head at the
Bend it
ball.
like Beckham with your
Head, yeah.
No, that
would be a good rule.
That would be something.
Yeah.
Boys, it has been an absolute pleasure. We're back in the studio, same time, same place next week.
Yeah,
You
baby.
can obviously catch all of our stuff on Spotify. Just Google the Mac Pack. You can find it basically wherever you're bloody well looking. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Until we do this time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
It's ciao for now, but not forever. Thank you so much for listening to yet another week of us on Radio Fremantle, or 107.9.
As you heard, there's a lot of participation
Or participation.
from the listeners. So if you want to get involved with the show next week or any week after that, make sure you listen in live and hit us up on the Instagram DMs.
Slide into them DMs.
Yes, and if you want to listen to the show with all the music as well, tune in at 107.9, 8 to 10 every Saturday.
G'day, guys. Hope you're enjoying the podcast.
As always.
We're about to be enjoying the podcast anyway.
Oh, yeah.
If you are enjoying the pod, make sure to send it to a friend. And excitingly, there's a brand new feature
New feature alert.
on Spotify, which is that little feedback box.
We love a-
box.
we love a little box.
And on the on each of the episodes, you can plug away a bit of feedback for the show. So you can literally say specifically, basically, give us some feedback specific to the show that you just listened to, the episode you just listened to. No matter what episode you're up to, ping us in that feedback, and then you can that feedback will then feature for other people who are catching up or they're listening to the episodes. They will see that as well, and most importantly, we like to see it. So if you can share it with your friends and write a few little words in the box, it would mean the absolute world to us.